Now, you're doing Dry January, aren't you, Katie?
Yeah, it's day 6, that's right.
Yeah, is it going all right?
It's not too bad, yeah. I mean, I'm doing it with my husband. I think you have to have the support of somebody else.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it on telly, but I would like to possibly not go back to drinking in February. I'd like to continue it. But I think when you put a label on it, then you sort of... You know, it's hard to live up to it. But
the reason why I brought this up is because there's this new... Scientists reckon that we're about 2 years away from having a synthetic alcohol that has no ill after effects, so it doesn't give you a hangover, basically. And I was wondering if you think that's a good idea, Carol?
Oh, no, because actually I quite like being drunk and I like having a hangover.
You like having a hangover?
Well, yes, because it gives me a chance to do nothing. Do you know what I mean?
What, every day, then?
Not every day. Oh, don't you start. Oh, the booze police.
No, it isn't the booze police. But the thing is, if you had worse hangovers, then maybe it would stop you.
Well, maybe then, Denise, I don't drink as much as you think I do because I don't get that bad hangovers and I know how to deal with them and they really aren't bad. Otherwise, I probably would have stopped drinking by now. But I don't want to stop drinking. I do quite like it because I do it purely for social reasons. I don't sit at home with a bottle of wine drinking on my own. I never do that. I go out with friends, or Mark and I might have a nice bottle of wine with dinner or two or
I think
three
it's because you're a lightweight, because it doesn't take very, very much for...
because I fall asleep.
But then it's not just about the people having uncomfortable or wrong relationships with alcohol. It isn't just about hangovers, though, is it, Denise?
No. I mean, listen, obviously, we always have this, you know, we're best mates. We always have this sort of to and fro banter about the alcohol, but it is 10 years since I...
and I would say that's
Thank
amazing.
you.
It's amazing.
Big achievement.
It is, thank you. I'm in my 10th year. And because McGiff does like a drink, one of my favourite quotes that she ever said was, Denise doesn't drink anymore, and I don't drink any less.
True friendship.
What she said. But the funny thing was that when I did stop eventually with my husband, Lincoln, a lot of people thought that McGiff would be one of the people who didn't want me to stop because we were known as the party girls and the good time girls and we drank all the time together, even though we were sort of different versions of drunk, I suppose. But actually, even after a couple of sherries once, we were at a party upstairs here, and my friend jokingly said, get her a double vodka to me. She was joking. McGiff didn't know she was joking, and she grabbed my friend's hand and said, don't encourage her. She stopped drinking, because Carol knew what desperate straits I was in. This is not just somebody who got drunk now and again and, you know, ha, 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 she fell over. It's very funny.
Your relationship with booze is completely different
Completely
to mine.
different to
Totally
Carol.
different.
So it's interesting because neither of us know you as a drinker.
No.
We only know you as being sober. So what was it that... Because you were together the night before you officially
On the
stopped
night.
The
drinking.
night she had her last drink.
Your last drink.
I was doing a tour of a play called Steel Magnolias, and I'd met Lincoln, and it was all a very difficult time because we weren't actually having an affair. I'd split up with my husband, but the public didn't know. We hadn't chosen to share that information yet. So anyway, but it was all shrouded in darkness, and I was doing a play. I had given Lincoln an ultimatum 2 months earlier because I didn't like how he was when he drank, but I knew I loved him. He gave up. He was an alcoholic. And 2 months later, I felt I didn't have as much of a problem as him, as lots of people who are alcoholics do, in denial. And I was doing a play. I'd said to him, I've got friends coming to the show, including Carol, lots of people from all different walks of life. If I start getting a bit tipsy, will you tell me? He said to me, darling, you are getting a bit tipsy. There's Paps taking pictures through the window. I don't want you to make a fool of yourself. Me, don't you tell me what to do. Anyway, I woke up the next day having no recollection of the evening. I mean, this is chronicled before. I'd broken things in the flat. It was a disaster. Lincoln had videoed me. I never saw the video. I didn't need to. And he said to me that night, he said, you know, I'm just going to say that when we go out, if you have 2 glasses or more, I'm going to take myself away. And I just thought to myself, I can't let him live a life where he doesn't know who's going to come through the door at night, what person is going to come through the door. Because I was in a relationship once and I didn't know what person was coming through that door. And I stopped that night. And that was 10 years ago.
And you haven't touched it at all
I haven't
since?
touched a sherry trifle since.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it can be done. You can turn your life around. But like McGiff said, my relationship with drink was very destructive, and it's the best thing that I've ever done.
I hope I never get like that, because I love wine. I literally love wine. I don't really like soft drinks. That's the truth.
It's wine in that
So
mug.
But if you got as depressed and as down and destructive as me, you would stop.
Well,
I think
would.
you should drink less.
Absolutely. I know I drink too much. I know the government says I should only drink like 14 units
No, I know,
a week,
but I've just, well...
So it is more than that. But no, I don't get terrible hangovers.
but
I don't get
It's not
depressed.
just about hangovers. You have had breast cancer as well, and I think that you should not drink as much because you've had that.
Look,
I worry about it from a health point of view.
chances in life.
I know you have. We all know that.
Take a breath, ladies. Take a breath, because we could honestly talk about this the entire show.
I might give up booze and get it again.
I'm sure you guys watch a little bit more than these
saying.
two arguing continuously.